for a while. We've had some missed opportunities, and I had to reschedule because I was sick. And I mean, there was just some things that, but I'm glad that we finally got together and we're able to connect today. And just, I think we're going to have a great time today. So,
Well,
Alan, no, go on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's proof that it's going to be a great podcast because we stuck with it and made sure it happened. So,
most definitely. It's kind of funny is that people don't put enough context on perseverance. It is a it is a huge thing. There is a have you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon
actually,
Hill?
it's so interesting that I literally just added it to my queue on my books as one of those that I knew I should have read a long time ago. Just never took the time, so I will be reading it very soon.
Yeah, it's a really great book, and I think it's either chapter 7 or chapter 9. I can't remember. But there's a whole chapter that talks about perseverance, and and then at the very end of the chapter, Napoleon Hill reads an article about the Muslim leader Muhammad and how he came to be and how he had perseverance in getting his faith started as a world faith, and so. But the thing is, but the whole thing is, it's about perseverance. And so whenever I coach somebody and we get to a point of perseverance, I send them a copy of the book and I ask them, I say, what I want you to do. We're not going to talk for 2 weeks. And I said, every day for 2 weeks, I want you to read this one chapter in this one book every day, once a day for 14 days. And they're always like, well, why? I said, well, because it's a chapter on perseverance. I said,
yeah.
So if you can persevere for 2 weeks and not miss a day, there is absolutely one, unless you're in the hospital bleeding or something, or something's wrong, major, there's no excuse why you cannot read this. I said, I think it takes 30 minutes to read the chapter, whatever it is. Maybe it just takes me 30 minutes. I don't know about everybody else. Some people, maybe there are faster readers than me out there, but it takes me about 30 minutes. I said, so 30 minutes out of your day, I said, I normally either read it first thing in the morning when I get up, or I read it first thing before I go to sleep. And so anyhow, and if they don't do it, and here's the key to it. Anytime during that 2 weeks, if you miss a day, if you're on day 13 and you skip 14, you have to start over.
Right.
And so, I mean, and I'm really serious about this stuff. And, and I can tell when people lie to me about it and everything else, but I find it so important that if you take the time and show perseverance, then and after reading this chapter over and over and over, there is parts of this chapter that I absolutely hate to read through. I'm just like, oh, this part, I hate this section. And then there's other parts I love to read. So it's just kind of a really weird thing, because the guest I had on before you, he knows so much stuff about Napoleon Hill. But anyhow, you'll really enjoy the book. I'll give you a warning though, real quick. It was written, and it took Napoleon Hill, is it either 15 or 25 years, I can't remember which, to write this book. It was published in 1938. So you're going to have a lot of old verbiage.
Oh yeah, I'm an old soul, so actually I like when you have to read the way people wrote back in those days. I think they thought through things differently. Their language echoes like a slower time, in a sense, not necessarily slow like in terms of intellect, but more slow in terms of thoughtful. So I'm fine with the old language, and I just want to get the